Do you ever wonder when chiropractors actually came about? Well, the whole idea came from a guy named Daniel David Palmer in 1897. He was pretty much an illiterate magnetic healer, and he came up with the idea during a seance. He was the one that had the idea that all ailments of the body could be cured by manipulating the spine in some sort. Anyway, he took it about himself to start this new practice. But eventually, he was actually murdered by his son, who ran him over with a car. Son was a complete degenerate criminal con man. But he actually took over the business and grew it even more. He's the one that actually came up with all the chiropractic manipulations. Again, this guy's not a scientist. Neither the son or the father were scientists, doctors, or anything like that. Okay? But anyway, the point is that the whole art of chiropractic manipulation came from complete BS artists and con men. And still to this day has absolutely zero clinical trials showing or proving its efficacy. This stuff is akin to homeopathic therapies. So you ever wonder why it has become so popular? And let's think about a more dangerous thing. You know how many people have actually been hurt by chiropractors? If you look online, you can find a lot of news of people who have been hurt or injured, like this one, the woman paralyzed after chiropractic visit, or the one, a model dies after visiting a chiropractor. Essentially, you can have blood clots, strokes from these manipulations. There's actually a study that came out recently, Journal of the Royal Society of Medicine. Anyway, it came out, that's where it was published, and it was a study that found that 30 to up to 61% of people that visit a chiropractor experience negative effects. This flew in the face of all of the stats that the Chiropractic Association keeps feeding down your they're pushing down your throat about how awesome it is. Look at this. And in the report, they showed all of the different injuries that people have literally died. You can get a stroke, or you can all kind of things like this one. People have dual tears, positional dizziness. This guy had an outcome was a full recovery, but the causation is certain. Then you have a vertebral artery dissection followed by a pontine infarct. But infarct, I think, is a heart attack. Anyway, he had permanent severe neurological deficit. Dissection of a right internal carotid artery. You have a phrenic nerve injury, diaphragmatic paralysis, severe dyspnea, diaphragmatic paralysis, insomnia, something to do with the diaphragm. Maybe he can't even breathe on his own. Who knows? Subdural hematoma. All right, that's where you break a vein. There's a brain bleed, right? A hematoma. Dissection of left vertebral artery, dissection of left carotid artery, again in the neck, dissection of right carotid artery, followed by Horner syndrome, dissection of extracranial port of the right posterior inferior cerebellar artery. And so something's going up in the brain. And so I'm not no neurosurgeon, so bilateral dissection of vertebra. But these are all injuries that are mostly happening from manipulation of the neck, except perhaps the one of the diaphragm, but even that one could be a neck injury. So when you go to these people, you're putting your life in their hands. Now, of course, there are going to be the people that say, oh, I've had so many, I've had helped me so much. But you got to understand the power of placebo. Placebo, for those that don't know, is when you do a controlled study, everybody gets the medication, but a few people get a placebo, meaning they do not get the medication. They get a sugar pill. Why do they get this? So they can measure the real effects. If the people that are in the control group that are taking the placebo also have the same effects of everybody else, then it's not really the medicine having an effect. It's just, mental, psychological effects. And those can be powerful. You can really have people feel better just by taking the placebo. And that's a lot of how antidepressants work. I'm pretty much against that stuff, except in really extreme cases. But they've come up with studies that really show that stuff really doesn't help, especially not long term. It's pretty much a placebo effect. But again, that's what you're seeing with chiropractors. So why does insurance cover chiropractor? Doesn't it, right? They send people after car accidents to these people instead of just sending them to physical therapists. Why not just send people to physical therapists? I don't know. To me, honestly, it's a conspiracy here because people are dying. I'll show a link to the study in the description. You tell me if someone should keep in practice, should be going around calling themselves doctors and manhandling people, if they're 30 to 61% of their patients experience negative side effects. It doesn't make any sense. But here in America, we love it. 35 million Americans per year go see a chiropractor. I think it's a sham that starts somewhere with the lawyers, got in a handshake with the insurance companies and the lawyers made this deal where, oh, you get injured or you get in a car accident, you sent to a chiropractor who pretty much writes up whatever and you can get paid and he can say things. Or you don't get injured in a car accident, but you have a car accident, you go to chiropractor, he fucks you up. So then you can go and be like, oh, look, I'm all fucked up. I got the dissected carotid artery up in this motherfucker. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you see a chiropractor? I already know. Some of you guys are going to get in the comments, going to be like, I've been seeing, Dr. Joseph for 30 years and he, adjusts me all over. I fart in his office. He don't mind and I feel better when I leave. And alhamdulillah, good for you for seeing the chiropractor if it helps you. But I'm telling you, it's all here. It's all a fugazi, man. You're getting conned into this stuff. You might as well give me a couple $100. I'll come give you a little massage. I don't know. Actually, you probably has money better spent. You go down to that Asian massage parlor. It'll end. It'll end better. I'll have a good happy ending for you. All right. Thank you guys. As always, buy red and sell green.